When we can't load the bus or board an airplane with our students, you can have the world come to you with this list of free virtual field trips. It's time to buckle up. We'll start with my favorite live virtual field trips that you can either book for your classroom to get a personalized one-on-one tour or chat with the destination, or you can join in on a live presentation with other classrooms. Either way, the first set of these virtual field trips are live events where you can ask questions. Then we'll move into some great virtual field trips that are pre-recorded. And finally, my favorite live cams throughout the world that you can watch with your students in live time. We traveled to Cody, Wyoming first, to the Buffalo Bill Center of the West. They offer so many great virtual field trips for students. I've been on a number of them, and the favorite probably is the amazing animal adaptations. I do that for second and third grade when they are studying animal adaptations. This is a great virtual tour for them. They offer many more virtual field trips, as you can see here. And basically for this one, you just click on book this lesson and you'll go through a form where you're able to pick a date and time that works for you. And you put in the request and they get back to you if that date and time works for their museum experts. These are high quality virtual field trips and really great for students. I will, of course, link all of these virtual field trips that we're going through in the description, so don't worry about copying down these links. I'll get them there for you. The second one that we are going to go to is the National Park Service. And there are a lot of national parks that do virtual field trips for classrooms. And you can see here, this first link I'll give you, they have a lot of resources. And you can click on distance learning and this will give you a bunch of field trips and resources. But we are going to go to the Snow Desk first. And this comes out of the Grand Teton National Park. And with some of the virtual field trips, what you'll find is that they only run them certain months out of the year. So you'll just have to pay attention to that. This one specifically is ran from January to March because the desk is made out of snow. So there are specific programs that they have here that you can choose from, and you can request one of these starting in January. And they just want you to email the education coordinator, or you can call them by phone. So all of the ways that you would book virtual field trips is different depending upon the specific place that you're going to. So it'll say on all the websites how to book and how to get a virtual field trip. The National Park Service has a lot more virtual field trips that you can take part of. There's just one called Ask a Ranger, and you just connect with a ranger and your students are able to ask them different questions. The third one that I want to take you to is from Tennessee. It's the Elephant Sanctuary. And I have been doing this virtual field trip for many years, probably 5 or 6 years now. And now they have very specific programs that they've come out with that you can book, and you can see them here. The students love to go to the Elephant Sanctuary because it's just cool to see these elephants, and it's cool to learn about what a sanctuary is and what this organization does for these elephants. So you're able to press the Schedule Now button to get to the Elephant Sanctuary in Tennessee to plan that virtual field trip. The next ones are from Amazon. In Amazon, this is all about computer science and engineering, and they have different options here. So they have a whole tour on Kahoot, which is really cool. Some independent play options. There's a live tour that you can register for, which is why it's in this section. And you can also preview the tour on YouTube if you want to kind of see what that would look like before you take it. Amazon also offers class chats, which is basically virtual career talks for your classroom. So you're able to book a class chat with an Amazon employee. They have a broad range of technical, non-technical roles at Amazon, and you're able to book that class chat for your students for careers. So that's a really cool option for a virtual field trip for careers. All right, the next one is all about Skyping a scientist. So this one is so cool. There's scientists that give up their time to connect with classrooms virtually through Skype and through Zoom. I should mention that most often they will ask how you want to connect. Teams, Zoom, Skype are probably most popular for the video conferencing. And most often they're able to accommodate whatever you are most comfortable with. So for this one, Skype a scientist. So we'll click that. And then basically it gives the instructions down here. Decide if you want to find a specific scientist to request, or you can just pick from general categories and they will match you up with a specific scientist. And then you just use the form. You'll get an email when you are matched. So you just click the teacher sign up form here, and then it will match you, ask you the questions and match you up with a scientist. So that's pretty cool. Next, we are going over to YouTube, where there's a couple YouTube channels that do live virtual field trips throughout the year. And exploring by the seat of your pants, they are constantly doing one. There's constantly one coming up live that you can jump in on. And you can also request to be one of the classrooms that is actually connected with the presenter, and you're connected either by Zoom. I think they do it by Zoom, and they have a live Kahoot that they normally do with it. And you can connect up that way, where you're actually in on the Zoom call with the presenter, or you can just watch live on YouTube if you didn't sign your class up for that. So either way is fine. You can watch it live here. And then of course you can look at all of their past live streams on all the different topics that they've done and check out those live events, even though they've already happened. So a great library of virtual field trips. And if you can catch them live, there are always a ton. You can just do this drop down here and you can look at the upcoming live streams. And these are all the ones that they have coming up that you could get in on. Another YouTube channel that does live events is Wild Earth. And they always have a sunrise safari coming up. And then you can, of course, watch all the other ones. It's really cool. You get to drive around in a Jeep and go look at all the animal habitats as they're waking up for the day. And if we go look at this one, I'm just going to look at the description here for what time it plays. And you can see down here, it tells you exactly what time it starts. And then if you're looking for the United States, I see those times there. So 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. And you can catch those live. They're fun to watch with the students because you just never know what's going to happen on the live safari. And you can also check out the past recordings if you want as well. So that one is cool, Wild Earth. So that one's on YouTube. They just do a live event all the time. So that's why it's in this list. We are going to move next into the pre-recorded ones. So these ones are not live events anymore. They are pre-recorded. And we're going right back to YouTube because Get Your Guide is a great YouTube channel that has done many virtual field trips on their channel. So you can click on videos and you can see all these different virtual field trips that you could take your students on. Even though they are pre-recorded, that's okay. You're still immersing your students. So you can go right here to tours and experiences, or you can look at the world at home, and Get Your Guide is just a neat virtual field trip option for the pre-recorded. Now they also have a website, I'll go here, which links up to virtual museums around the world. And there's a list there. So if we wanted to go to the Vatican, and we wanted to take a virtual tour of the Sistine Chapel, we can just click on that, and all of a sudden we are in the Sistine Chapel, which is pretty amazing, interactive inside of here. And we're able to have a live, I guess not a live tour, but a tour of it and move around in here. And students are able to see and feel what that looks like inside here. And of course, we want to look at the ceiling, right? So I will link this list up here for virtual museums from Get Your Guide. They have a website and they also have a YouTube channel. All right, next we are going to the National World War II Museum. They have electronic field trips, and they normally have one coming up every so often that is live, but the majority of them are past programs that you can watch on demand. So you can grab those here. This is the National World War II Museum. And like I said, you can register for the upcoming ones that are going to be live streamed. So if you want to watch their calendar, those are cool to get in on too. Okay, we go back to the National Park Service for some pre-recorded material. Their website, sometimes you can get a little lost in trying to find your specific resources. So I will link these two that I'm going to share specifically in the description. This one is for grade 1 and grade 2, all about animal like adaptations and different structures, animal teeth. And these are virtual field trips that are really interactive. They'll have animals in them, and they'll show us really descriptive, details of, say, the animal teeth or the redwood trees. And then you've got videos out of Yellowstone that they did for distance learning on animal sense and bear. And these are just like virtual field trips. They're just pre-recorded. So if you see a topic that would work for what your students are studying right now, we can grab these virtual field trips that are just pre-recorded. So I will drop those links in the description. We go next back to YouTube, because you can always just search virtual field trips for kids or virtual field trips for insert anything, or animal virtual field trips, or whatever you're thinking that you want a field trip on. Two of my favorites on here are National Geographic Education. They do a lot of virtual field trips. And the other one for younger learners is this South Florida PBS and Kid Vision. And you'll notice they've got this logo at the bottom with the orange banner. And they take a lot of different virtual field trips to different common places for young kids. And then they also do, things like how to cook. And so that's really cool. Or how is honey made? So South Florida PBS is the YouTube channel. And then you're going to look for this Kid Vision banner. And then the other one was up here, this National Geographic Education. But again, you can just search out virtual field trips for kids, and there are a ton on YouTube. Let's move to the live cams that we have. And the first one is just explore.org. This has a plethora of live cams of so many different things. And there will always be a random one that pops up first. So this one that popped up for us is a sea lion beach in Canada. So that's kind of cool. There's a lot of rescues on here too. Like this is a kitten rescue. This is a shark lagoon that we can go under. So these live cams, you just never know what you're going to get, but they can be really great for virtual field trips to see animals or whatever it's showing in its live environment. So this is explore.org. The next one is the San Diego Zoo. They have live cameras. You can see all these cams. And you would just click view cam and it would come up. And another one from a zoo is from the Smithsonian. And they have a couple different cams here that you can choose from. And then the Monterey Bay Aquarium, they have live cams as well. And they are here. So I have all these virtual field trips linked up here on a Google spreadsheet, and I can share that with you. I'll leave the link to get it in the description below. And I update this from time to time, and they change constantly. Like they'll be offering it for this year, and then the next year they won't, or they've added this one. So it can change really every year. And so I try to keep this as updated as possible, but I do have different tabs here. I've got free virtual field trips. There are some paid virtual field trips that are really great. The North Carolina Aquarium does really awesome virtual field trips. I've done them with the National World War II Museum. We've done them with the Space Center at Intrepid Sea and Air and Space Museum. That one was a really good virtual field trip, really interactive with that one. So I did include some paid virtual field trips. Here's some pre-recorded ones, some YouTube live ones, and then some live cameras. So if you want a link to be able to see this and click on these links of the virtual field trips, I will drop a link in the description below so you are able to get access to this spreadsheet. So that's all the 15 virtual field trips that you could take your students on. And make sure if you do take your students on a live virtual field trip where it was just a one-on-one with the presenter, send a thank you card signed by your students to that presenter. These programs are free, and I know they appreciate to hear from the classes that they speak with. And then it also reinforces with students that we need to still send thank you cards. So please make sure to like and subscribe if you have got value from this video. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss strategies and tools on how to use technology in the classroom.